Security's going to walk you out now, the undersecretary said, tapping his pen against a folder like he was bored of me already. I didn't move. I just stood there holding a slim black tablet that looked harmless, except it contained enough classified evidence to end careers on 3 continents. But before I tell you what was really on that tablet, you need to know why I let my own family believe I spent 16 years driving a HelloFresh van. My name is Sonia Fairchild. I'm 41. For the last decade and a half, I've been a regional security officer with the Diplomatic Security Service, GS-15, top secret/SCI, the person who keeps American ambassadors alive in places where people actively try to make them dead. I've taken rounds in Mogadishu, coordinated evacuations under fire in Khartoum, and once talked a mob in Caracas into dispersing by staring them down in perfect street Spanish while the ambassador hid behind my vest. My family thinks I drop off salmon and zucchini noodles to suburban cul-de-sacs. How we got here is almost performance art. My younger sister, Claire, decided early that life was a scoreboard and she was the only one keeping track. I went to Georgetown on a full scholarship. She went to Yale because it sounded better on Christmas cards. I joined State because I believed in the mission. She became a big law partner because the bonus was bigger. The problem, I never once checked the scoreboard. So she rewrote the rules. My silence about work became proof I was ashamed of it. Diplomatic security became government job, became logistics, became meal kits. I stopped correcting them around year 6. It was easier and honestly more entertaining to watch them build an entire mythology out of thin air. Thanksgiving 2023 sealed it. Claire's new fiancé, Harrison Whitmore, the kind of guy whose family name is on hospital wings, asked what I did. Before I could open my mouth, Claire chirped, "Sonia's in delivery services. Super flexible, very entrepreneurial." My dad nodded proudly. "Keeps the supply chain moving. Essential work." I smiled into my mashed potatoes and let the lie calcify. Fast forward to last Saturday, Claire and Harrison's engagement party at my parents' house in Potomac. White tents, string quartet, the Whitmores gliding around like they owned the concept of money. Claire had spent weeks coaching me. Wear something nice, okay? Nothing too practical. And maybe don't talk about work. Harrison's parents are very accomplished. Translation: don't embarrass me by admitting you drive a van. I showed up in a simple black sheath dress that cost more than Claire's bridal shower, but looked understated enough to keep her calm. Harrison's father, Everett Whitmore, lobbyist, fixer, the man who can get the Secretary of State on the phone before dessert, shook my hand like he was already writing me off. "Delivery services," he said with that gentle pity rich people have perfected. "Must keep you on the road a lot." "More than you'd think," I answered. Everything was proceeding according to Claire's carefully curated hierarchy: successful younger sister, disappointing older one, until 7:08 p.m. when my phone vibrated with a single encrypted text from DSS operations. Sexdate motorcade incident. Bethesda RSO Fairchild recalled immediately geobag/credentials/weapon ETA. Harrison and the Whitmores, all waiting to scold me for disappearing from the party. Claire started first. "Seriously, Sonia? A meal kit emergency? On my night?" Everett Whitmore's phone rang before I could answer. He glanced at the screen and went the color of skim milk. "Excuse me," he muttered, stepping away. We could hear his side of the conversation perfectly in the stunned silence. "Yes, Mr. Secretary. Of course she's here." "Yes, sir, Regional Security Officer Fairchild is family." "Absolutely. I'll pass along your personal thanks for her response tonight." "Understood, sir. Safe travels." He lowered the phone like it might explode and turned to me. "The Secretary of State just called to thank me for hosting the RSO who secured his detail tonight," he said, and I quote, "Fairchild ran that scene like a damn symphony. You could have heard a champagne flute shatter in Virginia." Claire's mouth opened, closed, opened again. My mother actually dropped her wine glass. Harrison looked like someone had rebooted his operating system. Everett recovered first. He crossed the room, took my hand in both of his, and said, voice shaking with something close to awe, "Officer Fairchild, it was an honor." Claire found her voice eventually. It came out small. "You let us think all this time. I never lied, I said quietly. You just never ask. My dad started crying, which broke my mother, which broke Claire. Harrison just kept staring at me like I'd grown a second head that spoke fluent Farsi. I picked at my clutch. Congratulations on the engagement. I'm on call again at 0600, so I'll see myself out. As I walked to the door, Everett called after me. Sonia, drinks at the Metropolitan Club when you're back in town? My treat. I smiled over my shoulder. Only if they deliver. I left them standing in the wreckage of 16 years of their own fiction. My phone buzzed. Jerry Oaks. Secretary wants to put you in for a meritorious honor award. Drinks when you're stateside. I typed back. Make it the good whiskey. Some truths don't need to be shouted. Sometimes you just wait for the right emergency to light them up like a flare. Thanks for coming along for the ride, legends. If you've ever let someone underestimate you on purpose, you're my people. Hit that subscribe button. Next time your family asks what you do, just smile and say logistics. See you in the next secure motorcade. If they